Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Michael's Corner. I am sitting by with Spider Baby. How is it going this evening?
Going pretty good. Came very close to becoming a number one contender in the tag team match here at Doghouse Wrestling. That didn't work out so well, but I'm consoled by being able to be a guest yet again on Michael's Corner. So thank you for having me. And I don't think it's ever been so literally true. We're actually in a corner, aren't we? So
Yeah. I think the last time we did an interview was, oh my God, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
it's been a while. It's been too long. I'm glad we have the chance here.
So, what have you been up to since our last interview?
Lots and lots and lots and lots of pain dished out. I've come to appreciate the winning matches is nice, but making people who cheese you off suffer. Oh boy, that's where the real gold is. May I, since I should mention, I hope this isn't too clunky, but I'll be leaving wrestling not too far in the future. I wanted to mention two favorite Michael's stories, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you'll enjoy these too. Number one, I remember I was wrestling. It was actually the night Ian Xavier and I won the Minnesota Extreme Wrestling Tag Team Championships, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was the Outlaw Saints. And I was in there with a high flyer named Michael St. Christopher, or Christopher St. Michael, excuse me. Yeah, sorry, I got dyslexic there for a second. And Ian and I are doing what we're supposed to. We're keeping him in our corner and just beating the snot out of the smaller of the two guys. Dave Bell, more larger, kind of soup bone, cowboy brawler type character. So we know we're proficient bullies, Ian and I. So we're just beating away. And at one point, he starts firing up young Christopher St. Michael. Boom, boom, boom. And you kindly had sent me video that you yourself had taken of it. And so you're like, boo, Spider Baby, boo, Spider Baby. and then he starts firing up. Yeah, you get him. You get Spider Baby. You get him. Boo, Spider Baby. You're the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life. And then he goes back for a clothesline. I duck it. We're back to back, and I pull him up in what's called a gory special, which sounds like there'd be blood and guts everywhere, but gory refers to Gory Guerrero, who invented it, the godfather of Mexican wrestling. Mm-hmm. And so it's a submission hold where you put the guy, we're standing back to back basically. I lean over, so now he's facing straight up. I've got his elbows hooked, I've got his feet tucked into my hips, so he's helpless, and I'm stretching him in every possible direction. And then the commentary on the video that I was kindly sent was, oh my God, I haven't seen that move in 10 years. Spider Baby, you're the best wrestler ever.
I remember saying that.
It's been like 15 years. Oh my God. And so then he managed, my opponent managed to wiggle out of it and flip me around. And then it looked like he was going to get the advantage, and I just clotheslined him right into the mat. And then Michael's going, boo, Spider Baby, you suck, you cheat. And I'm like, oh, Michael. And while I'm watching the video, I'm thinking, of course, Michael's not there, but I'm like, oh, I thought, geez. The gory special and the clothesline are like the only two legal moves I used in the whole thing. And it's like, go ahead and accuse me of cheating, but wait till I actually cheat, you know? You don't have to wait very long.
I remember that all too well, and I still got that video on YouTube, so.
Oh, good. Yes, please check it out.
Please check that video out. When you go to my channel, you guys, I created a playlist. So go under Minnesota Extreme Wrestling playlist. Yeah. And there's all the matches that I've filmed over the years. Yeah. God bless Kurt.
Yes, Kurt Otterholtz was the grand poobah of Minnesota Extreme Wrestling. And I was actually, I am the last champion for that federation, and it's something that gets me choked up every time I think about it, because Michael and I have an adversarial relationship when I'm in the ring and he's at ringside. Otherwise, I'd say we're pretty good friends. But that's something. Regardless, our love and admiration for Kurt, who died at the tragically young age of 49, I believe.
Yep. Yeah.
I visited him in the hospital. That was one of the worst experiences of my life. But hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Do you have any other memories of me, right quick, before?
I should mention the second one where it was it was the 1029 bar, which has these wonderful shows that they actually have. 1029 bar is known as a cop bar, and it's in northeast Minneapolis, and it is just it's sort of the pinnacle of this weekend-long celebration that they have over there. And I was there to wrestle Leonard Literacy. I went, and I come out, and the audience there, I wrestled there last year, but I'm familiar to them. They like my entrance. They like to cheer me, but then they will boo once the match actually starts. They start cheating or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Michael, this may have been your first one, but you were in the front row. And so I come through the curtain, and I'm looking all spooky, and the place starts cheering. And you jumped up, and you went, "No, don't cheer him. He cheats."
I remember that, and
the audience was like, "What are we doing with this?" So you were ahead of the curve, is what I'm saying. As you so often are, you kind of educated the audience before. It's like, we have to wait till the match actually starts before I do the cheating. We're actually. Uh-oh.
No.
I see.
Sorry about that.
So we're filming after a card presented by Doghouse Wrestling. I thought that was just sort of a clever name, but one of the Grand Poobahs here literally owns 2 dogs, and they're kind of running free reign all over the place. Yeah. So. Speaking of which, yeah, it's live. But so literal dogs, and I guess you're not a fan, because they started coming in, and in my head I heard the theme from Jaws just now. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, but they're gone now.
Yeah.
The dogs now, it's no dogs, just house.
Yeah.
Just Michael's Corner. All right, keep going.
That's right. So so my next question to you is, if it were up to you.
Why are you so much bigger in the frame than I am? Keep going. I should be grateful as a vampire that I even show up in the.
Yeah. So, if it were up to you, who do you want to face next? Because you face just about every damn body in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
So, who do you want to face? Who do you want to teach them a lesson? Because we got a lot of newbies around here.
Yeah, that's a great question. I was scheduled to retire last November. The logistics of that just didn't add up, and so it'll be later this year. And I've been so grateful for that extension, because it's it makes more concrete this sense of this is really going to be over. I was thinking that on the drive here, that this might well be my last kind of road trip, as it were. And in that same term, we've had a lot of the young talent from Ken Anderson's academy, the academy, right? And I didn't think much of most of them at first. I saw some talent in some, but I saw an awful lot of kids who just lock up and then start doing backflips, basically. And it was just a backflip off. I'm like, well, I'm sure if you wanted to do a gymnast competition, you could do that, but this is supposed to be professional wrestling. Since then, my attitude in the time since I should have left but didn't leave. I've grown very close to them. I'm grateful for them, and assured that the hands that I wasn't exactly giving them the fair shake either. To answer your question specifically, I'm going to say of all the current generation, the youngest talent out there, the one who reminds Spider Baby of Spider Baby is the System. And I've never wrestled him. I would really like that. He's great as a good guy. He's great as a bad guy. And he and I, it seems to me, and I want to say, the System is 10 times the performer I am and 20 times the athlete I am. So I don't mean to make any sort of implicit insult by combining him with me or comparing him to me. But he's somebody I think our styles would mesh very well as opponents. You started to react and I cut you off. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I would love to see you face the System down the road, because the System, he started out, like as this young kid, who's trying to get into the business. And when I first saw him at AWF show, when I first saw him wrestling, I said to myself, this kid's got a bright future in this business.
Right.
And as he grew, he involved so much as not just only as a performer in the ring, but he just changed his look, and he respects the veterans who's been there a whole lot longer than him. He is still, he's a former MAW champion in such a short time, So yeah, I would love to see you, face him down the road.
I'm with you. You'll have to. It's a pretty short road, so I hope it happens. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen very quickly. Mm-hmm. And
so yeah, so sky's the limit for the System here. So my final question for you is this: what do you plan on doing, like after your wrestling career is over?
Yeah, that's a smart question. It's something I've lent a lot of thought to. My day job, the closest thing I have to a shoot job, as we say in the business, is freelance writing. And one of the things I've written is comic books. I've written for DC Comics. I've written Superman. I've written Batman. I've written Green Lantern. For about 10 years, I wrote Scooby-Doo. And a mistake I made in committing to pro wrestling is my weekends got kind of filled up to the extent that I couldn't go to the big conventions. People probably all know about Comic-Con in San Diego every summer. I was a regular there, and I stopped doing it so that I could. I always figured, well, that'll be there later after I leave wrestling. And I wish I hadn't done that. So I feel like the time that I would have spent wrestling, part of it's going to be insinuating myself back to the losing your spot is what it's called in wrestling. When if you're a top guy and then you get injured,
so many years, right?
And then you get injured, and then you're gone. Then you have to kind of work your way back up. That's sort of what I'm doing. I was never a top guy in comic book writing, but it's something I plan on focusing more on without the distraction of wrestling. That said, wrestling has made me a much better writer, and wrestling has made me a much better storyteller, and it's given me a greater appreciation of what it's like to be a real life superhero or supervillain, right? I mean, I'm actually walking around in pretty much the same gear that you might see someone like Batman in, right?
Yeah.
The mopey Robert Pattinson Batman, anyway. Oh, we were all so sad. I will also be adding some kind of physical component. There's a place near where I live that does taekwondo, and I thought I studied Shotokan karate in college. Shotokan is Japanese for House of the Flaming Wuss. I don't know if you knew that, but that's actual authentic Japanese. And that place still exists, actually. So I've been debating getting back into that, but I absolutely want some physical component. I will not miss bumping as we do in the ring. You know, the flying around and landing on your back or face or whatever. But I do want something. I haven't decided quite what yet to substitute for that physical interaction with other people.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that. And with that being said, where can wrestling fans find you on social media?
It's facebook.com/thespiderbaby, or because I'm a marketing genius, twitter.com/thespiderbaby. You can also try Planet Spider Baby on YouTube, and you'll see all sorts of interesting things.
Yeah. Check out his YouTube, you guys. He does some things, you know. Yeah, I watched it and it's pretty interesting.
Defies easy explanation, I guess we could put it that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, well, you.
One last second. Just the last thing I'll say then, before you wrap up, is I'm so grateful to Michael's Corner, to Michael yourself. You have been an absolute tent pole where my career is concerned. I'm always so glad to know that you're in the front row, because it always makes my job as a bad guy that much easier. Michael has gotten a lot out of professional wrestling, but he's given a lot more, and Michael's Corner is one version of that. So even as I'm leaving wrestling, I want to assure you our friendship will endure.
Yes, thank you so much for the kind words. Now, before I go, you also can't forget about Gail and Johnny and Tim, because they always go to the shows too. And she's the one that always gives you a hard time too as well.
Yeah. I know we were just wrapping up, but I'll tell a quick Gail story.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll tell a quick. So Gail is a fan, not unlike Michael, and she just seems baffled by me and exasperated by my bad guyness. And I think it was my first Minnesota Extreme Wrestling match, and I was a little overwhelmed at first, so I got out of the ring, and you were heckling me on one end, and then I'm just pointing at where you were relative to me. I'm outside of the ring. Here's Michael. Here's Gail. And I said, you know what? Why don't you marry him? And Gail was kind of like, well, I think I'm spoken for, but I guess, you know. So I'm glad you mentioned them. Yes, of course, they're all pillars of the wrestling community, and I'm glad to know that they're going to be here after I've gone. I'm sure there'll be other bad guys they'll heckle.
Because you know what? I'll be sticking around because just because I'm turning 40 this later in the summer, that doesn't mean, I still got it in me, and I'm gonna continue to go to wrestling shows. So
many. Yeah, that's 40 is according. I suppose I shouldn't date myself, but it's 40 is great because you're a lot smarter than you were in your 20s, but your body parts all still relatively work, assuming you're not being an idiot and whacking them around in a wrestling ring. But I don't fear 40. Embrace it.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna wrap this up. You guys can follow me on social media. On Facebook is Michael's Corner. Twitter X will be at Michael Pam. Oh my God, I don't know if you guys want to follow me because I am too outspoken on there. And of course, follow me on, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Michael's Wrestling Channel.
I have, so you should too.
Yep, I'm getting close to I'm getting close to 1,300 and almost 55 or 6 subscribers.
We need to get you up to 1,400.
Woo, yeah.
If you brag about how much you have, then they're gonna say, "Oh well, then I don't need that. I don't need to subscribe. That guy's got enough." No, we need more. We need more.
Exactly. So with that note, thank you, Spider Baby, for doing this with me finally.
Yes.
And that's a wrap.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
When the car starts honking.